Wow. I'm Dr. Susan Beck. I'm the Chief Science Officer at Neolife and a member of the Scientific Advisory Board. And I am so excited to be here with you all in Nashville, Tennessee. And on behalf of the Neolife community, including the product team and the SAB, I just want to take a moment to thank all the distributors for the great work that you do to end the trend. I believe that every family, not just in North America, but around the world, should have access to quality products that they can trust, products that help them to achieve optimal health. You all are truly instrumental in making a difference in the world, and for that we wholeheartedly thank you. And I also want to thank Kendra for her amazing leadership and for giving me the honor and privilege of introducing our newest product today. I am particularly excited about this new product because it is hands down the best of its kind. Here are some of the benefits our new product will provide. It'll give you more energy for your workouts. It'll give you more stamina and endurance. It'll help you recover faster after working out. It'll improve your heart health. It'll help your brain work better. And this product will support immune health and a healthy inflammatory response. Now, before I introduce this product, I want to give you some important foundational information which will help you understand why this product is so needed and so powerful. I'm going to tell you a story about a molecule that's so foundational to human health that some scientists refer to it as the miracle molecule. This miracle molecule, called nitric oxide, was discovered 250 years ago in 1772 by an English scientist and inventor named Joseph Priestley. In the 1770s, Dr. Priestley was trying to figure out what makes up the air that we breathe. And after years of experimenting, he was able to isolate the different gases in the atmosphere, including nitric oxide and oxygen. So nitric oxide was discovered in 1772 as a gas in our atmosphere. Now let's fast forward 226 years when we realize that this gas in the atmosphere is also made inside of our bodies. 3 scientists figured out that our bodies produce nitric oxide naturally and that it plays a key role in blood vessel relaxation. So for 226 years, we thought this gas was just in the atmosphere. But in the 1990s, researchers discovered it's actually one of the most important molecules for cardiovascular health. In fact, this discovery about nitric oxide and cardiovascular health was so important that in 1998, these 3 researchers won the Nobel Prize. Not only that, but the discoveries about what nitric oxide does continues. In the last 30 years, we have learned that it's produced by virtually every cell in the human body, that cells use nitric oxide to communicate with one another, and that it's critical for a wide variety of biological functions related to health. Here's a snapshot of all of the systems nitric oxide is involved in. We now know that in addition to heart health, nitric oxide is essential for the proper functioning of our nervous system, our immune system, our respiratory system, our urogenital system, our hormonal system, and for the removal of metabolic waste from the body. More specifically, nitric oxide relaxes blood vessels, which increase blood flow. It's an important molecule for regulating our immune function. It has antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. It has antiviral and antibacterial effects. It's vital for muscle force, power, and strength. It protects our nervous system and helps it to work properly. It's an important factor in cognitive function, including learning and memory. It's also critically important for healthy aging. As I mentioned earlier, our bodies naturally produce nitric oxide, but here's the thing. Our ability to produce nitric oxide decreases with age. It decreases anywhere from 50 to 85% as we get older, or about a 10% loss per decade of life. And if we have low levels of this miracle molecule, then our health suffers. For example, low nitric oxide levels increase cellular aging. It causes something called cellular senescence, which is when cells die, but cells age, but they don't die off. Instead, they accumulate and secrete inflammatory chemicals. And these inflammatory chemicals increase the rate of aging in our tissues and organs in our body, which can play a role in the development of chronic diseases. Here are some of the chronic diseases that low nitric oxide has been associated with: hypertension, atherosclerosis, erectile dysfunction, depression and anxiety, obesity, macular degeneration, Alzheimer's disease. In the US, 6 in 10 adults have a chronic disease, and 4 in 10 adults have more than one chronic disease. And chronic disease is the leading cause of 7 out of 10 deaths worldwide. And one note about atherosclerosis and erectile dysfunction: atherosclerosis is the hardening of the arteries that leads to heart disease, and erectile dysfunction is one of the first symptoms of atherosclerosis. So if we can't rely on our bodies to make a consistent supply of nitric oxide as we age, then how do we make nitric oxide? In the last 20 years, scientists have found that diet plays a key role in nitric oxide production. It turns out that green leafy vegetables and beets are the biggest and most important sources of something called dietary nitrates. Our bodies convert dietary nitrates from vegetables into nitric oxide through the digestive process. Here's how it works. Digestion begins in the mouth with friendly bacteria, which start the process of converting dietary nitrates into nitric oxide. About 75% of dietary nitrates are absorbed in the gut, and the remaining 25% are taken up from the blood and stored in the salivary glands. So the healthy bacteria in our mouths play a critical role in the absorption and storage of nitric oxide. In a recent study of over 50,000 people, scientists found that consuming 60 milligrams a day of dietary nitrates leads to reduced risk of different types of cardiovascular diseases, including ischemic heart disease, heart failure, stroke, and peripheral artery disease. Also, as we discussed, nitric oxide plays a big role in muscle strength and power. Dietary nitrates have the same effect because they convert to nitric oxide. In fact, when we exercise, our muscle nitrate stores become depleted. But by consuming dietary nitrates, we can restore the lost nitrate in our muscles, which then helps us to work out longer. And the ergogenic effect of dietary nitrates is true for people of all ages and fitness levels. But here's the problem. The USDA and the World Health Organization both recommend that we should eat 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. But almost 100 studies from around the world have shown that we actually need 10 servings of fruits and vegetables a day to stay healthy. And a recent global study of 162 countries, 88% of people in these countries were below the recommended intake for vegetables. Likewise, 90% of Americans don't get the recommended amount either. This means that most of us are not getting 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, let alone 10. So the bottom line is people are not eating enough green leafy vegetables and beets that they need to replenish their bodily stores of nitric oxide. So with all of this in mind, the SAB and the product team created a new product that boosts nitric oxide, and I am so excited and pleased to introduce it to you today. Are you ready? All right, here's our new product. Here's the video. Introducing Neolife's Upbeet. It's a great tasting drink mix in stick packs. It provides 70 milligrams of dietary nitrates per serving. It contains a nitric oxide activation blend, which is made up of beets, kale, and Joseph's coat. Joseph's coat is a vegetable that's so colorful, it reminded people of the coat of many colors in the Bible. And that's why it's named Joseph's coat. Yeah, it's also known as red spinach. It's not a true red spinach, but they look similar, so that's why people refer to it as red spinach. But we're going to call it Joseph's coat. All three of these vegetables have been studied for their ability to increase nitric oxide in the body by providing substantial amounts of dietary nitrates. Upbeet also contains our clinically studied nitric oxide fitness blend, which is made up of moringa leaves, pomegranate peel, and black ginger root. The combination of the activation blend and the fitness blend means that Upbeet boosts nitric oxide levels and supports cardiovascular health. Plus, we have clinical evidence that the fitness blend increases stamina and endurance and improves energy and fitness. Upbeet is GMO-free, stimulant-free, plant-based, no added sugar, only 10 calories, vegan. It's an easy, convenient delivery system. Just one stick pack a day mixed in water or juice or your Neolife shake is all you need to feel the benefits. Upbeet is the only natural beet-based product that works via two different pathways to increase nitric oxide production. It works both externally and internally. It works externally because Upbeet provides 70 milligrams of dietary nitrates from beets, kale, and Joseph's coat. Upbeet works internally because it activates the body's own natural ability to produce nitric oxide. Again, this is the only natural beet-based product to work on two different pathways. Let's talk a little bit more about each of these blends. The three vegetables in the nitric oxide activation blend, beets, kale, and Joseph coat, provide concentrated amounts of dietary nitrates. Plus, Joseph's coat and beets contain betalains, which are pigments that make these vegetables red in color. But betalains provide more than just color. They support a healthy inflammatory response and have antioxidant properties. Also, the activation blend supports normal blood pressure and healthy vascular and endothelial function. And dietary nitrates work in a relatively short period of time to optimize our health. So, for example, one study looked at the effect of beet juice on people with high blood pressure. The participants drank the beet juice daily for 4 weeks compared to placebo. And not only did their blood pressure drop, but the drink also resulted in improved blood vessel function. And get this, there were some people in the clinical trial who were already taking blood pressure medication, and their blood pressure was still too high. But after 4 weeks of the beet drink, even the people on blood pressure medication saw their blood pressure drop into the normal range. Dietary nitrates also have ergogenic effects, and they have been shown in clinical trials to help enhance physical performance. They do this by replacing the nitric oxide stores that are depleted during exercise, by reducing muscular fatigue, by enhancing oxygen delivery to the muscles, and by helping to reduce how hard the heart works during exercise. In fact, one study showed that 70 milligrams of dietary nitrates enhance greater muscle force during weightlifting, which means people who took dietary nitrates were able to lift weights longer than the group that didn't get the dietary nitrates. And another study showed that beetroot juice enhanced the ability of people's muscles to produce more power. So the participants who drank the beet juice did more repetitions when weightlifting than the participants who didn't get the beet juice. And let's talk about the nitric oxide fitness blend, which contains 3 ingredients rich in polyphenols and has been studied in 2 clinical trials. Upbeet's fitness blend contains moringa leaves, pomegranate peel, black ginger root. All 3 of these herbs contain polyphenols, which are important micronutrients found in certain plants. Black ginger contains unique polyphenols called polymethoxyflavones, or PMFs, which help to increase our body's internal nitric oxide production. Plus, they also enhance the bioavailability of nitric oxide. Pomegranate and moringa polyphenols work with black ginger to increase internal nitric oxide production, and in addition, they enhance nitric oxide absorption and protect nitric oxide against the harmful effects of oxidative stress. The 2 clinical trials on these botanicals showed a powerful impact on nitric oxide production. The first clinical trial demonstrated that Fitness Blend is fast-acting and the effects last a long time. The way researchers measure nitric oxide levels in the body is through blood and saliva. In the first study, 1 dose of the Fitness Blend showed an increase in both plasma and salivary nitrate after just 1 hour. And this increase in nitrate levels remained elevated for 12 hours. In fact, the Fitness Blend increased nitrate levels in the blood and saliva by a whopping 336% and 325% respectively. The second study showed a significant decrease in inflammatory and oxidative stress biomarkers. LDH, which is a blood biomarker associated with tissue damage, was decreased by 4% compared to placebo. And MDA, which is a biomarker associated with oxidative stress, was decreased by 47% compared to placebo. This means that the Fitness Blend reduced oxidative stress to the muscles and tissues during exercise. Also, the second study showed an increase in the feel-good hormone dopamine. Dopamine promotes happy, pleasurable feelings, and it's a key neurotransmitter involved in motor control, memory, and mental flexibility. Upbeat's Fitness Blend increased dopamine by 36%. Yay, happy while we exercise. The group treated with the Fitness Blend showed a significant increase in time to exhaustion when the researchers looked at exercise performance. That means that the group taking the Fitness Blend exercised 18% longer than those taking the placebo. So the Fitness Blend increased both nitric oxide levels and dopamine, and it reduced inflammation and oxidative stress, and all of this resulted in better exercise performance. Let's talk a little bit about beets and brain health. I want to tell you about 3 recent clinical trials on beets and brain function. In one trial, beetroot plus exercise helped older adults have brain networks that closely resembled younger adults. The beetroot in this study helped the older adults' brains adapt to change more easily. And in the second trial, beetroot helped to improve reaction time in seniors after only 2 weeks of taking the beet supplement. There's even evidence indicating that only 1 dose of beetroot can improve cognitive function because the dietary nitrates in beets help increase blood flow to the brain. And as we discussed a bit earlier, dietary nitrates are converted to nitric oxide starting with the mouth with friendly bacteria. Upbeet's drink mix delivery system ensures that the dietary nitrates in Upbeet will be converted to nitric oxide, unlike dietary nitrates in pill form. If we take dietary nitrates in pill form, then it bypasses the critical first step with our oral bacteria, which is necessary for nitric oxide conversion, absorption, and storage for later use. Interestingly, a recent study found that drinking beet juice actually increases the number of these healthy bacteria in our mouths. So by the end of the 10th day of drinking beet juice, the participants in the study had significantly more healthy bacteria in their mouths compared to placebo. So we need these types of friendly bacteria to convert dietary nitrates into nitric oxide, and conveniently, drinking beet juice helps to increase the beneficial bacteria necessary for nitric oxide conversion. Again, taking beets in a pill form won't work as well because it bypasses the healthy oral bacteria. One caution, antibacterial mouthwash kills off these friendly bacteria. So please make sure you don't use antibacterial mouthwash because this will inhibit your ability to convert dietary nitrates into nitric oxide from the vegetables that you eat. And a quick note on dietary nitrate safety. We get about 85% of our dietary nitrates from naturally occurring nitrates in vegetables, and only 6% from sodium nitrate and nitrite preservatives in cured and processed red meats. Red meat has been linked to an increased risk of colon cancer, and some researchers believe that the heat used in cooking red meat, plus the heme iron in red meat, may adversely interact with these preservatives to create cancer-causing chemicals. To be clear, there is no sodium nitrate or nitrite in Upbeet. Upbeet contains only naturally occurring dietary nitrates from vegetables. And the science behind eating dietary nitrates from vegetables is clear. Dietary nitrates from vegetables reduce our risk of developing chronic illness, so they help to protect and optimize our health and well-being. Upbeet is perfect for combining with Neolife's other products. In fact, some of our products will actually enhance Upbeet's benefits, especially the products that contain polyphenols like Neolife Tea or Tray. And healthy fats will also enhance Upbeet's benefits like Tray-N-N and Salmon Oil Plus. Protein has a neutral effect when it comes to dietary nitrate absorption, so it's great to take it with Neolife Shake or vegan protein. Before we end today, I want to leave you with a few more interesting facts about dietary nitrates. Because the research on dietary nitrates is so new, especially within the last 10 years or so, scientists are discovering more and more benefits all the time. Here are a few examples of some recent findings on dietary nitrates. There was a study that showed consuming beetroot juice improved blood vessel function and helped hikers acclimatize to high mountain altitudes in the Himalayas. Another study found that supplementing with beetroot juice allowed free divers to utilize oxygen in the blood better so they could hold their breath longer. And there was a study showing that beetroot juice helped people with breathing issues to sleep deeper and longer at night. And here's an interesting historical count of dietary nitrates. Remember how I said nitric oxide was first discovered in 1772? And that we have only figured out in the last 20 years how important dietary nitrates are? Well, guess who figured out how powerful dietary nitrates were as a treatment for heart disease over 1,000 years ago? Traditional Chinese medical doctors. An ancient medical recipe was discovered in a limestone cave in northern China. It turns out that these limestone caves were a rich source of naturally occurring potassium nitrate. And remember how important it is to start the digestive process in the mouth? Well, this 1,000-year-old medical recipe specifically described how to put it under the patient's tongue to get the best and quickest results for heart disease. So to summarize, Neolife's newest product, Upbeet, is for stamina, endurance, and circulation. It's the only natural beet-based product to work via 2 pathways to increase nitric oxide production. It supports cardiovascular health, reduces fatigue, increases stamina and endurance, improves physical performance, supports a healthy inflammatory response, promotes a healthy immune response, acts as an antioxidant, and supports cognitive function. When you are educating other people about the benefits of Upbeet, you can explain to them these 4 important points. First, the activation blend works by providing 70 milligrams of dietary nitrates, which are converted to nitric oxide. Second, the fitness blend works internally to jumpstart the body's production of nitric oxide. Third, the fitness blend makes the nitric oxide the body produces more bioavailable. And fourth, there is clinical evidence showing that we will feel the benefits of Upbeet's fitness blend within an hour, and the effects last for up to 12 hours. Before we end, I just want to say that I am grateful to be able to work with the most amazing people at Neolife, from Kendra and the leadership team and the product team and the scientific advisory board. And I want to thank you all again for everything that you do to get the word out to end the trend and in making a difference in people's health around the world. Thank you.